All right, Father's Day 2023. Whoa, there's some serious echo in here. I'm down in the shed. It's been plastered, and so the echo is pretty impressive. But good day today. Really good day today. Got given a massage by my wife, and she'd already booked it in for 11 a.m. So we had breakfast this morning. Then she took my daughter out to basketball. I went to the massage, then we swapped over. I got to watch 2 games with my daughter, which was really cool. Really cool. It's and then we're having some fish and chips for dinner tonight. I will do my general's tent, review my week, and then it's been a pretty good week though. Been a pretty good week. Largely not very productive, as you probably have noticed, we've been skiing. And really good family times. Very honoured to be a father. It is no easy job. No easy job. And certainly for men coming into the role of father, it's like, oh my goodness, what is this? This job has become very challenging. And it has because of what we've been through over probably the last 200, 300, 400 years. Like, this is not a new problem, but I want you to stay with me just as I run through some of the challenges that men have faced. Now, are men perfect? Oh my goodness, no. Am I perfect? Definitely not. Men are not perfect. We've done some terrible, horrific things, but the game got very difficult. If we go back 400 years, most men were on the land with their wife and their kids, and the kids were watching dad work. And then the cities came along and said, hey, instead of doing that, that's hard, that's very risky. Occasionally you'll go very hungry, your family might die, come and work in the cities. And so the men left and went to the cities. And when they did that, they started taking factory jobs and office jobs, and now the kids are at home with mum. And this means that the boys in the family are not seeing what dad does. It's a bit of a mystery. And this continues on for many years, and we go through Industrial Revolution and we start getting a bit more advanced, and then enter World War I, World War II. Now, these were brutal wars, brutal. And it's very hard to have a mass enrollment of men who are going to go and kill each other unless they are desensitized to their feelings. It's no good if I'm about to pull the trigger, shoot someone, if I'm now having remorse and fear and worry. So that all had to go. So now we've got men who didn't grow up watching what dad did, and then we're told they can't feel, not to feel. This gets intense. Like, even those 2 things alone, significant challenges for most men. To then, when the wars are finished, what the heck do I do? I'm meant to come back into a society where I have been trained not to feel. And then as we continue on a little bit more, the 60s kicks in and feminism kicks in. And what was going on before then? Not really sure. Like, how come women didn't have the vote from the beginning? It's like, people, you guys are carrying some serious misogynistic thoughts here. But thank goodness women said, hey, enough of that. We're going to have the vote. This is great. And a lot of glass ceilings, they still exist. It's unbelievable. But they're still there. Women are very capable, as capable of men as vast majority of things. Now, there are some things that women are capable of that men cannot. I'm not going to have a baby anytime soon. If you have an XX chromosome, then you are going to be able to have a baby. XY, good luck with that. Not going to happen. But one of the dark sides of feminism was that there were some thoughts that came through and said, well, actually, you know what? We don't actually need men at all. And now men are in a real problem. It's like, okay, I didn't watch dad work, so I don't know what to do. Then I've been told not to feel. Then I've been told I'm not even needed. And then we hit the information age and tech comes in. And suddenly we have a plethora of information. Plethora, like unbelievable. I don't know whether you've seen what the kids are seeing these days, but it is intense. It is so intense, like the TikToks and the YouTube shorts and the Instagram. And some of that Instagram stuff, it's like, hang on. Is that legit? Is that yoga or is that soft porn? Now this is the world that our kids are in. And in that, it's like, well, hang on. Who am I as the father? Who am I as the father? And it's overwhelming. It's absolutely overwhelming. No guidance on what to do, no guidance on how to do this. Got kids, the world's gone crazy, what do I do? And this is the problem. I'm going to move outside just so we can see if we can get a little bit of the last bit of light. It's all locked. All locked up. It's no good. I wanted to check this place out, but the light is fading much more quickly. All right. So what do we need? What do we need? Well, as men, one of the things is that we've got to know how to win. Like, men typically like missions, like purpose, like direction. It's like, hey, I'm here, I want to go there. Oh, that's way better. Check that out. We've got a nice little soft sunset coming through here. But this idea of having a mission was something that came through in the two types of men's work that I have done, Mankind Project and Wake Up Warrior. Both of them are like, hey, you're going to need a mission. And setting that mission is up to you, up to me. So I set my missions and then go after them. And in that pursuit, there is growth, there is expansion, there is something that I learn about myself, about the world. But without those targets, without those missions, then I'm easily lost. I'm easily struggling. I'm going to pop around the corner, see if the dogs settle. We got like 3 dogs on the property. But this idea of the mission, I'm like, here I am here at A. I'm going to set a target to go up the mountain or over to B or whatever it is, up the mountain. Let's say it's that. Okay, let's ascend the mountain. And this it doesn't have to be a directional thing. This could be defend the territory. All right, I'm going to mark my territory with a fire. I'm going to defend it against the animals, defend it against other humans, whatever's going on. This also could be the mission. It could be defensive. But without that, I'm very lost, very, very lost. And this idea came, I suppose, on a big perspective. There was one that was like, I create a world of truth and self-responsibility through music and healing. And that's the big picture one. And then Wake Up Warrior came in and said, well, what we want also is like yearly target. Let's set the yearly, go. And then every month push towards those yearly targets. And it's very intense. And I've been reading this interesting book called The Now Habit. And it was actually suggesting not to freak out if for the first 2, 3, 4 months, not much happens. Because there's a lot of learning going on and it's okay. And Warrior actually says this as well. Garrett's like, hey, be aware that if not much happens in the first 3 or 4 months, that's okay, because we're not looking for linear, we're looking for logarithmic, where you like at the end. And it's very intense. It's very intense. But it is critical to me as a man, and hopefully I'll train my boys on this as well. It's like, hey, this is what we need to do. We're going to set some targets and go for them. And either you hit them, or if you miss them, you need to learn from it. Like, what happened? What needs to change? And this mindset of going for something is actually very important for men. And my father didn't teach me. He didn't know. He did really well in life, for sure. Delivered a truckload of babies. But in terms of a comprehensive view of the world, where his body's working, he had that. His work was working, but it did have some consequences on his kids. A bit too much work, not enough time with the family. And so the family wasn't working. And spirituality-wise, like, he was a very interesting man. He was like, Tom, I don't think there is anything more. Total opposite to my world. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, God is everything, everybody, everywhere, continually interacting with the universe the whole time. He's like, no, there's nothing. And check this out. There was a significant benefit in that he just lived full on as if this was it. And that's all you got. And he was just like, you know what? If this is it, I'm going to go for it. So similar idea. It's like, well, I'm just going to live all in, live all out, just like, Krah. So really beneficial teaching in that. So he still led, he still guided. It just wasn't explicit and wasn't documented. And I'm hoping that through my journey, not only to set the targets and go for them and hit them, but also to document, so that as my boys come along and my grandchildren come along and they're like, hey, what did Grandpa Tom do? And obviously all of these documentations that are going on Facebook, also part of that. This is a very powerful experience for how to live life. Both the setting of the target and the documentation of what's going on. If you want something, if you're like, you know what, maybe there's something here. Maybe this life thing has a set of rules that we just lost when we went to war, when we went from into the cities, when we went and tech arrived. Perhaps there's still an underlying methodology for living. And perhaps there's many of them. But what I've discovered is there's also many, many, many that don't work. So being able to leverage those who have found a path that does. Is it the only path? Definitely not. You know, there's 1,000 ways up the mountain, but there's also 10,000 ways that don't work at all. So choose somebody or something that's worked and go, you know what? This life's challenging. It's full on and it's not getting easier. So if you need help as a dad with how to live, and you're like, you know what? I'm willing to expand my mind and say, you know what? I'm going to learn some of this stuff. And then you could say, you know what? None of this is working for me. And that's cool. Chuck it away. You still learned that it didn't work. And that itself is extremely valuable. But the methodologies that I've been through have been proven to work. There's no doubt about that. Over and over and over by thousands and thousands and thousands of men and women. So if that's something you're interested in, then head over to Facebook and look up Graduate Medicine and send me a message with your situation. Let's say father as the code word. Let me know that you're a dad, you're a doctor, you're looking for something in terms of making your life work better, because presumably there's something that's not working. Like, hey, okay, let's fix that. Let's get it working. All right, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go hang out with my kids, enjoy the last little bit of this sunset. It is fading rapidly here in the evening. But I hope you have a great Father's Day. And congratulations on being a dad. If you are a dad, well done. All right, that's all I got for you. Look forward to seeing you on another episode very soon.